Following on developments after Kenya withdrew from a maritime border case with Somalia, the International Court of Justice is due to begin hearings on the maritime boundary dispute between Somalia and Kenya. The two East African countries disagree over which direction their border extends into the Indian Ocean. The area is thought to contain large oil and gas deposits. Kenya argues the sea border should be drawn parallel to the line of latitude, while Somalia says it should be extended in the same direction as its land border. Kenya has since pulled out of the case, citing perceived bias and unwillingness of the court to accommodate requests for delaying the hearings due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The hearings will run until the 24th of March. For more perspective, we are joined by Dr. Nkiru Scocha. She is a solicitor of the Senior Courts of England and Wales. Dr. Scocha, can proceedings continue without Kenya's participation?
Thank you, Pernilla, for having me. Yes, it can. As you have just said, this has been postponed numerous times, 3 postponements thus far, and the courts decided in 2017 that it does have the competence to hear the case. So the proceedings can indeed continue because according to law, from a legal perspective, of course, non-attendance or participation does not stop the process from continuing. So Somalia can indeed request the ICJ to proceed with the case.
Right. So in that case then, and the court makes a ruling, how does that ruling get enforced?
Now, of course, there is definitely a link between non-appearance and enforceability. But we have to understand that in the case of a non-appearance, the court still has a duty to adjudicate this case based on law, and the law on maritime dispute is well established. There's a 3-stage process the court has to go through where they draw a provisional line, they check for relevant circumstances, and then they adjust for an equitable result. So the court has a duty to ensure that the law is put forward. Now, of course, when we talk about enforceability, here we have a problem of political will. Now, the main factor in any maritime boundary dispute is that the parties work together to agree. For example, there was a case with the ICJ as well between Cameroon and Nigeria, and we know that the judgment was agreed and was put forward in 2002, but it took over a decade for the line itself to be drawn. And this had to involve both parties working together with the assistance of the United Nations General Assembly, the Cameroon and Nigeria Mixed Commission. So yes, courts can proceed, but in terms of enforceability, the court does not have a mandate to enforce its ruling. And so the parties would have to work together, which you need anyway, regardless.
All right, thank you very much for that. Dr. Nkiru Scocha talking to us live from the UK.